Hey everyone, Sirturmund here again. And today I wanted to show off that Veigar Swain deck that I recommended on Tuesday on a patch notes breakdown. And the reason I think that this archetype makes sense, and again, everybody's trying out all the Swain TFs, and nothing wrong with Swain TF, but I like the Swain Veigar because you get access to obviously the tools from Bando City. I said that we're not really using that many, but you do get access to Wallop, Minimorph, Aloof Travelers, Pokestick, Acolyte, Conchologist, Group Shot, and obviously Veigar himself. And the reason why I like this Bando City package over like the Bilgewater package is because it gives the opponent another thing that they have to deal with. I can explain this when I was talking in the deck recommendation video. Veigar is there to eat up Vengeances, Minimorphs, and Homecomings, right? Because the opponent has to deal with this Veigar and not let that darkness go too much out of control. So you play Veigar, opponent Vengeance. You play Swain, and now the opponent has one less Vengeance, so, maybe they don't have a way to deal with Swain anymore. Similarly, they might not have a way to deal with Levy. So this deck is just kind of putting so much threats in the opponent's board that they have to deal with right away when they drop, that they're going to have a hard time dealing with it. Also, obviously, the darkness synergizes with Swain because it lets you level up the Swain as you do the darkness damage. And even if your darkness is only at 2, it can still synergize with stuff like Flock to, damage the opponent, and then you're able to flock them that way. Because we're in Bando City, we're able to play stuff like Catalyzer, right? Darkbrook Acolyte, both of which help us out on that darkness win condition. So that's kind of like the darkness side of this deck. Just Veigar, Acolyte, and Catalyzer. The rest is just kind of getting a lot of value from Swain and trying to level up Swain so that you can have Swain or the Leviathan stick on the field. So Group Shot, Flock, pretty straightforward. Both of these are just ways to remove the opponent's units. This is a control deck at the end of the day, right? It's a control deck, so you're removing the opponent's units by doing Group Shot and Ravenous Flock. Conchologist has a lot of good hits in Bando City and Noxus, especially Noxus has a lot of good hits, right? You can get Flock, Death Hand, etc. from Conchologist. Pokestick, again, you can poke the opponent, get some draw, and set up your Flocks. Sentry to just stun any like Gangplanks, for example, or anything that you have to deal with. Calling Strike is there to kind of deal with like some of the Ionia shenanigans like Nami and Shelly. Obviously, it can get countered by something like Momentous Choice and Wuju style, but I'm okay trying to force that out from the opponent. Death Hand, really nice way to kind of level up Swain and trigger some Nexus damage to trigger the level of Swain stun if you need to. Scorched Earth, just another flock pretty much. And also if you run into like a landmark deck for some reason, if you run like into Star Spring, it can save you there. Wallop, kind of similar to a Sentry, it's so that it can punish even if the opponent open attacks. Also, it's been really, really good, by the way, because now that level up Swain has Overwhelm, you can actually stun the blocker. Like if the opponent for some reason has a blocker that has a lot of health, you can stun the blocker away and just push that Overwhelm damage with the Swain to kind of finish up the game. And Loot Travelers just lets us draw, as well as control the opponent's hand. And then we get to our top end, Triple Swain. This card, I think, is just so good now that it has Overwhelm. It's kind of like self-sufficient once it levels up. And then Leviathan to actually try to get us to draw into the Swain and potentially push some lethal damage with either the Overwhelm or the 2 damage that the Leviathan does. And then we need 2 Minimorph to just deal with stuff like right off the bat, like Nami, right? That way we don't have to play them on like Deny. We can just Minimorph her right away when she drops down before she gets a lot of value. This deck, I think, actually has been feeling really good from the games that I recorded today because you have so much removal, right? You have so much removal tools. The darkness as well can be a removal that lets you not run out of resources too early. So it feels really, really, really good. I might go for a little bit more draw in this deck. Maybe we play like Whisper Words, for example. So maybe I'll get rid of one Group Shot. But I wanted to kind of stick to the same deck list that I recommended Tuesday. And this is that one. And it worked out pretty well for me. So hope you enjoy the games coming up today. And if you like this video and our content, please make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post LOR videos every single day. I'll see you at the end of the video for some mulligan tips. In this match, we'll be going up against Fizz, Master Yi. I always love like the first days of the patch because it feels like everybody's playing some random BS, right? I gotta actually hard mulligan for everything just in case that I can get a Catalyzer in turn 2. That would feel pretty nice. Minimorph is just as good as well though. Oh wow, okay, we have a pretty crazy hand. We have the Minimorph has to be kept for the Fizz, right? So I probably have to keep the Minimorph just for the Fizz. Because I'm scared that I won't have a way to deal with Fizz otherwise, right? The opponent is playing like a bunch of like random stuff. I don't think they have a way to get rid of our Veigar, by the way, so that's pretty good for us. Unfortunately, our hand doesn't have a turn 3 play. I've also kept the Pokestick. If I remember that they could play Bastion Disciple, I completely forgot about that, right? So keeping Pokestick against that was probably correct. Yeah, so maybe sending the Pokestick away was a mistake. I'm gonna go ahead and just do this, just so that we have a blocker, and we can just attack here. It might be a mistake, because I might want that for later, but I think we have a pretty heavy hand that I want to play Veigar, I love Travelers or Swain, kind of like back to back to back. I might not actually need the other cards. It's very likely that the opponent also plays their own Minimorph though, since they're playing Vandal. So I do have to be a little bit careful about that. I'm gonna pass first. I don't want the Darkness to get pranked. I think having Darkness get pranked is a big deal. So I'm gonna wait for the opponent to first do the prank, and then we'll play a Veigar. It also means that they're tapping out of... by doing this, the opponent is also tapping out of the Minimorph. So the Veigar feels safe against almost everything now that the opponent might have. And here we go. So now we can play this Veigar. We can play Swain next turn. And opponent's going to have to deal with this Swain. And this Veigar is going to be... Whoa! When I'm summoned during equipment, the first time each round, Ahri's equip, refill one spell mana, grant them +1. What? I never expected to see that in my whole life. So how is the opponent dealing with this Swain? Or are we just pushing 3 right here? We also still have the Darkness, which is going to go up to 4, right? So this Darkness is going to be a big threat from when the opponent plays like Master Yi. Again, the Minimorph is going to have to go for the Fizz, because I'm kind of scared of that Fizz. But maybe the opponent doesn't actually have Fizz and we're okay. We get a second Swain, which is really good because we can play this Swain and get it right back. There's that Fizz. There's that Fizz. Let's just go ahead and push this damage. Opponent hasn't played the equipment yet, whatever equipment it is. So we get 7. Don't think it's correct to do this Darkness just yet. I think I'm just gonna go the Minimorph. Okay, so the opponent's gonna decide to block the Fearsome, which is gonna deny us 3 damage here. So the opponent is denying us 3 damage here, and also denying us the advancement on the Swain. However, they have to keep the Meditate mana, obviously, because otherwise they're in trouble. I guess if they play the equipment that they drew, the Soul Sword, they still have enough mana. Yeah, this is why we kept this Minimorph, by the way. This is exactly why we kept this Minimorph, because the opponent is obviously kind of playing like a combo deck. Now, the Minimorph doesn't get rid of the equipment, which is a little bit annoying, but does get rid of everything else, right? That gets rid of the actual Fizz elusive. Yeah, so it doesn't get rid of the equipment, which is pretty annoying. So we go like this. If I play the Flock right now, opponent can just transfer the equipment. So as much as I would like to, I don't think it's correct. Because then they get to refill another spell mana, huh? I guess let's go ahead and do it, right? No reason not to. Let's go here. Maybe opponent has like a... If opponent has this lifesteal, it's not gonna matter. So my concern here is that the opponent will be able to replay this equipment. Actually, that's not true because it didn't trigger flow. So the equipment still costs 4. Now next time they'll be able to play it. They are gonna get a little Dragon Link here though. I wonder... So this is gonna be 9. So this is going to be 9. We still need 3 more. Group Shot is only doing 1. We can technically go Darkness. play Acolyte and play the second Darkness and level up the Swain. But I'm pretty sure the opponent's gonna have a recall or a stun, or they could just simply deny this Darkness. I had to be careful with the elusive, so maybe I actually should have gone for the elusive instead. Because the opponent can play that flow equipment, and that's gonna become a very, 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 very tough to deal with, right? And so I'm okay with that. I think I'm okay with this because I wasn't really looking. I guess the downside is that this means that the Swain doesn't get to level up. Yeah, that's the flow that we expected. We're gonna have to play the Darkness on the Shadow Assassin now. Yeah, we're gonna have to play that Darkness on the Shadow Assassin. And the opponent doesn't have a Fearsome blocker. I guess they could easily have a buff though. Okay, now the Denier too. Oh my goodness. I think we go for it. I think we go for it and force the opponent to block here. I think the elusive is more scary for me than anything like anything else they have next turn. The downside with that deny and that spell shield is that now we don't have Veigar right anywhere close to level up. We're gonna get another Swain right here, and Swain is also pretty far. It's gonna be a 6 next turn. This is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're gonna be 2 off. It's the Soul Sword. You can pass. This is going to be another 5 damage. I think I want to pass first. See what they do. I'm honestly okay with this. It's a little bit scary, right? And letting the opponent get a lot of value here, but I think I have to just take it slow. We get the second Swain. Opponent's just going to recall, which is fine. Oh, maybe not. Because, again, Swain is still going to be pretty far behind. And, ah, man, that deny actually... Maybe we have to stop... Maybe we have to stop the spell shield with the group shot. Just to force the deny out of them first. Because this might actually be a problem now. Ionia doing Ionia things, huh? Ionia doing Ionia things. I like the Swain. I like the Swain over the Levy. Let's me play Levy next turn and get their Swain. Okay. Let's go Loop Travelers.
That's not ours.
His friendship is gone, so that's 2 friendships gone. I like the Wallop. One is gonna just continue having so many answers. I know the Will of Ionia is gonna go to the Levy. Check a trade. Eventually, I mean, eventually I'm gonna level this, right, guys? Copium. Hopefully. Oh wow, he picked both spells that we just got. So whenever they used 1 deny and they lost 2 friendships. They went ahead and increased the cost of the Wallop because obviously it's better for them to do it that way. This is still gonna be another 2 damage on the elusive.
Blue, your helmet doesn't work. I can't see anything.
Perhaps you lack the insight to use it.
Well, this is gonna be a problematic. This is gonna be problematic. The opponent doesn't have enough space to play the second Shaman window, but they can easily just play the Soul Sword on the Disciple. So they can easily play the Soul Sword on the Disciple. Yeah, they don't have the space for the Shaman Wind. They can play the Soul Sword here. They drag this with the Lifesteal. We block the other 2. They're pushing 4, 5 at most. So they're pushing 5 at most. It's like they're playing... They know we have the Wallop, so they're playing to stop the Wallop, right? So they probably have a deny. I'm guessing they have a deny then, if they're playing it this way. That Soul Sword is actually making it so the elusives are just kind of just punishing us, right? We're okay blocking everywhere else. So we can block here, and we only go down to 2. And 2 might be okay, because we can play Levy right back. And means that this is going to die to the flock. They could have Pokey Stick though, right? So if they have double Pokey Stick, we just lose the game. So that is a little bit unfortunate. Swain is going to go up to 8 with this flock. Unless the opponent denies it, and that will be our last Swain. We haven't naturally drawn any flocks either. Yeah, they're going to just Homecoming, right? So they're just going to Homecoming here. Let's go ahead and do this flock right now. That lets me play the Levy again next turn. And get the Swain right back. Assuming that the opponent doesn't have a way to heal this. I guess if they do, the heal gets punished by the group shot, right? Yeah, the heal still gets punished by the group shot. We could also stop this. I actually don't care about the recall. I don't think. I think I like doing this. I think I don't care. I mean, it sucks having to replay this again. I think I'd rather have the Poké Stick and the Death Hand to be able to hit face and stun like whatever target the opponent puts next. Because this one is going to be leveled up after our open attack. I guess opponent cannot play the Soul Sword because they already played it once. They're going to hit the Death Hand again. So now this is going to be a little bit more expensive. They know half our hand. The Darkness is at this point like 12. Unfortunately, we haven't joined another Acolyte. So we haven't joined another Acolyte. We can actually level up Swain on the stack and give it the Overwhelm by doing the Death Hand. So they're digging. They already use 2 Tellstones here. They use a Will of Ionia last turn. Huh. We can... So we can just do like this, right? And just put this on the stack. And that will clear the opponent's whole set of Bastan Disciples, because this has Overwhelm. Opponent's gonna need to have... So the problem is that with 2 away... Okay, they have the second recall. I mean, the third Ionian Tellstones, right? Because why not? Except that anything that they target gets punished by Poké Stick, right? And then we have the second Death Hand. They should have targeted the Landmark instead of their 1-drop. So they needed to target the Landmark instead of their 1-drop. Unfortunately, they still get there, but that's not true because we have a second Death Hand. So they need to have a... They need to have... Wow. Okay, so we cleared the whole board. We have a Wallop. We cleared the whole board, and we have a Wallop. Is that still enough? We have a second stun. Okay, so the second stun is huge. The second stun is huge because now we can stun 2 of their units. We start with the Wallow because the opponent doesn't know that we have this. So we beat the deny. We beat 1 deny. Maidens. So we beat 1 deny. Ooh. We beat 1 deny, and that's it. I mean, opponent knows that we have Wallop, so that means that they know they have to have an answer for this. So they should have an answer for this. They top deck the deny. We go for the Veigar. Is that enough? They actually top deck the deny too. Alright, let's go here first. I like the Heroic Refrain, right? it pushes potentially the lethal damage that we need by attacking with everything. Because opponent has only used one spell though, so they don't have access to. Okay, they don't have access, right? They don't have access to the little thing here. Wait, this is nuts, because this can stun the blocker. So we're gonna go like this first. We can stun the Fate Folk away, so that Swain just finishes the game, right? If the opponent gets greedy and doesn't block, they also just lose. We lose to a second will. Yeah, so we lose to a second will of Ionia. We lose to a stun. And we don't have it. Alright, that Veigar top deck is at Veigar spell is actually nuts. Because it lets you push that overwhelm damage. Wow. GG's. In this matchup, we'll be going up against Sejuani, Tryndamere, Trundle, Ionia. So this is kind of feeling like feel the rush, like feel the Minah. Feel the Minah, that's the word. I'm gonna hard mulligan everything and see if I can get like my champions, especially Veigar. I think Veigar's gonna be really useful here. We can get rid of the ramp by doing the sentry. We get Catalyzer 2, and the opponent's not gonna have an answer in turn 2. Wait, because the opponent doesn't have mana for Avalanche yet. Wait, this is nuts. This is actually nuts. Creatures of Doom. Okay, they do have an answer. They do have an answer. Right. I was wondering if they play Sentry. Actually, no, I wasn't wondering because I thought they were just gonna ramp. I didn't realize. I did not expect the Sentry whatsoever. I'll admit that. But the darkness is already at 3. It's gonna be at 4 after this. Sure. They're gonna have to have an answer for this Veigar. So they're gonna have to have an answer for this Veigar. This darkness is gonna go to 4. We have the Acolyte as well to generate another darkness. If we wait 2 turns for this to go to 6, we have a way to just level up Veigar from just 2 darknesses. As well as level up the Swain. I'm passing, because 1 damage doesn't really mean anything. Yeah, so what? I like the aloof. I like the aloof here. Yo, actually, you know what we can do? We can play aloof next turn and burn 2 of their cards. Because what happens when an opponent has 10 mana is that the card that gets drawn by aloof gets burned. And so does... Yeah, I think... Does burning 2 cards really matter compared to just playing aloof right here? Wow. You know, let's do that. Let's burn the 2 cards. So this happens. Feel the Rush and Minah. Boom. Those are 2 really good hits. So we know that the opponent doesn't have a Feel the Rush in their hand. And we just saw them discarding the first Minah. I would love to do damage here, but again, I don't think it's actually necessary. So I don't think the damage is necessary. This darkness is now at 6. So anything that the opponent summons is going to just let us level up Swain pretty easily. They're trying to burn me out. So they're trying to burn the Veigar out, which actually works. Because we have exactly 10 mana. So they get to burn our Veigar because we can't, even if we do the Pokey Stick, all is happening is that we're just going to draw another card, right? So I'll let this Veigar go because we're going to just go ahead and play Swain instead. That was a good burn from them. And that's 1 will of Ionia gone though. So that's 1 less will for our Leviathan. The darkness is already at 6, right? And being at 6 means that we can kill Sejuani, we can kill Trundle. That's the 2nd will, so we're going to be burning a card now. So now we're actually burning another card, unless we play the Acolyte right now, which is I don't think is correct, because I think we won. Imagine if I could do this. I think we just burn the card. We have everything that we need here. Oh, actually, that mini move would have been really good. Yeah, actually, that mini move would have been really good. That mini move would have been really good, right? So I kind of regret that a little bit. We can go here, and this is letting us push 4, 7, 9, 12. So this is letting us push 12. I'm gonna actually flock this Tryndamere, by the way. I know it's leveling up the Tryndamere, but being leveled up is actually good for us. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Because this is also advancing our Swain by a lot. And now if the opponent gets damaged again, we can potentially have a Scorched Earth to kill that Tryndamere with. My concern here is that we did use our stun here, right? So if the opponent has Feel the Rush right now, I guess they don't have the mana for it. They don't have the mana for the Feel the Rush. They could have the mana for the Minah here, though. And we're gonna burn one of these cards. But if they play the Minah, they're...
From the savage cold.
So if we go here... Actually, let's go Pokey Stick instead of the Death Hand. So if we go Pokey Stick... Oh, wait, no matter what, we have to commit the Darkness first, right? So no matter what, we have to commit the Darkness, because the Darkness is low. So there's no way... There's no way for us to save our Swain. There's no way for us to save our Swain. Is that true? What if we go here instead? What if we go here instead? No, let's kill the Sejuani. Yeah, there's no way for us to save this guy. That's not true. We can save it. We can save it. But then we have to commit double flock to save it. And the Sejuani stays on the field. But then the Sejuani is losing to the Acolyte. The Sejuani is nowhere near level up. So I'm not too concerned about it. See what the opponent drags with here first. If they attack with Sejuani, they get blocked and then get flocked. So this means that this Sejuani is gonna get flocked, right? The great thing is that we can still kill her anyways. So the Sejuani is gonna get flocked next turn. Actually, we can just kill her this turn. We didn't need to block. We could just kill her this turn. Deny. Death Hand. Still gets us there. So we can start with the Darkness on the Sejuani. Opponent still doesn't have enough mana. We have enough mana to play the Levy as well. We could also just attack. I guess opponent could have Minah here. And that could be annoying. I like going here though. I like going here. Because opponent could easily have a freeze for this Swain. So I don't think it makes sense to attack with Swain. Opponent already used 2 Will of Ionians. So I think we just killed the Sejuani. Veigar is 1 away from leveling up because one of the Darknesses went to a tough unit. Because opponent has to be concerned with this Leviathan, right? Also, the opponent... I think opponent actually didn't deny... Yeah, opponent denied the wrong flock. Opponent denied the regular flock. Instead of denying the flock that was like... They have to freeze this. They have to freeze this. Or stun this somehow. There we go. That lets me play the Levy. Opponent has lost 2 champions so far. Next time they can do Feel the Rush. But we have Pokey Stick to stun one of the targets. So we have Pokey... If they do Feel the Rush, they just lose the game, right? Because we stun... If we do Feel the Rush, they tap out of answers. Okay, so they tapped out of Feel the Rush just now as well. So I guess we're chilling. We play second Levy now. And we get to stun the whole board as well. Even if the opponent has a second Sejuani, we Pokey Stick the Nexus to stun her. And then play second Levy.
You'll wanna give me some space.
Okay, well, that's not... That is not a Sejuani. Do we flock this Mina? Oh wait, actually the flock is not gonna help it, right? So it has to be the stun. Has to be the stun and then just play second levy. I think we just play the levy again. We still have another... Yeah, I think I like the levy. I think I like the levy here. Let's keep our hand. The second Mina is problematic. I mean the third Mina, because we discarded one earlier. Let's go here first. They're down to 6 cards. Like, how much more stuff can they actually have? There can't be a lot that they have left. Feel the rush here is not enough to really concern me. I think we pass. I think we pass. Opponent tapped out of Mina. Okay, so that's game, right? That's game, because we can go... We go here. So we can go here, right? That stuns their Twin Demeanor. And the Mina is now hurt, which means that she dies to the flock. We attack with both units. These both have Overwhelm. And the flock can just hit the Mina. We don't even have to do anything here. Alright. We got there. We got there. Because opponent will have, like... Yeah. Opponent will have to have the Tailstones to heal the Mina, right? That's the only way that this gets punished. But even if they do that, we still push 2 because the Leviathan also has Overwhelm. And then the Leviathan ability deals another 2 to the Nexus. And that finishes the game. So, GG's. In this matchup, we'll be going up against Gangplank Sejuani. Oh, okay. They have a lot of really good spells. I really like the Sentry. The Conchologist, I feel like it's a little bit awkward because the Conchologist just dies to make a Vein or Parley. The Deafen, I like it because the Deafen can get rid of one of their units. And it might be... Okay, Catalyzer is huge. Catalyzer is also huge. It lets us obviously progress that darkness. Opponent got the Shell Shocker. If they open attack, they get punished by the Death Hand. If they don't open attack, we just play Catalyzer. Can't do that. They saw it, Rocco. Alright, Rocco saw it. You can't open attack against a Noxus deck, right? That a Swain Noxus deck at that. Yeah, so he saw it. He saw the line. Let's go ahead and play our Catalyzer now. Wouldn't even... The problem here is that it loses to a Maker and a Parley, right? So I think we just take the trade. Like, if we block with the Nimble Portal, I guess we are forcing them to have that spell. But it's very likely that they have it, so... Alright, let's go here. That gives me the 3 damage darkness to potentially kill something that the opponent plays. That's 3 mana. That's 3 health, like this guy right here. We can deny him the proc. I think we can deny him the proc. Unfortunately, we don't have Levy, we don't have Swain, we don't have Veigar. But we also only mulligan 2 cards, right? So we can Death Hand this guy, Pokey Stick another guy, and be able to deny the opponent the procs. They have to literally use the Parley right now. I think it has to be correct to deny them the proc, right? Okay, this is our Levy. Ha! So we don't even have to do the Death Hand then? Okay, that's what I thought. I thought you were not. I thought you were gonna let us. I thought you were gonna let us not have to use the Death Hand. So we go here. We go here. That gets rid of the whole board, and the opponent doesn't get the Plunder trigger. Fortunately, this is still vulnerable, right? So this is still vulnerable to Make It Rain, etc. So a little bit annoying there. Ah, they get it. They get that anyway. So we can kill the Grifter, though, with the Darkness. They can do the warning shot right now. We need to do the Darkness before the opponent is able to play the Panel Pain on the Grifter. Question is, do we actually play Veigar? And I don't think we do, because I think I want to go ahead and do this so that we can just get Swain to 6 already and have another Darkness when we actually play Veigar. It's very important for us to have a Darkness generators. Make it rain or the third parley. Wow, they actually got the third parley here. They actually got the third parley here, huh? It's alright. We have double sentry, so we can stun. Can stun the Sejuani or the GP. Opponent just took one of our cards. As long as it's not Minimorph, I think we're chilling. Don't want to give him the chance to play Sejuani and drag our sentry, so I think we don't play this. I don't think we actually play the Wallop anymore, because I actually don't think it's gonna matter. I do like this Veigar over Swain, though. So I like the Veigar, just to make the Darkness stronger. And then we can play Conchologist as well. Maybe we should have gone Conchologist first. Riptide Sermon doesn't kill Veigar anymore. So no matter what, this Darkness is gonna go to 4. However, we are losing very heavily to a Make It Rain now, so just have to be a little bit careful about that. I like the Fervor, because the Fervor lets me level up the Swain in one shot. So the Fervor is enough to level up our Swain. The Swain is missing 6, so this counts both parts of the damage. It can also potentially hit the opponent's face, which is another reason why I like it. What if we open pass? No, it's probably not correct, right? Yeah, it's probably not correct. I think it's just always Swain. It's just always Swain, just so that we have Swain on the field. Because we're not losing to a Sejuani next turn. This also decreases the odds. Yeah, I mean, sure. Sejuani is cool right now, but she's not doing a ton of stuff. Right? Heck, we can even play the Darkness right now and then play the Scorched Earth on her. And that also kills her. So let's go like this. That way we can Scorched Earth for next turn. And we have just enough mana to play Scorched Earth. I don't care about... I mean, he took our single group shot. It sucks losing that Veigar, but it's not a big deal. Because this is going to be enough for us to play Scorched Earth and still have enough mana for the Levy. Because we're going to have exactly 10 next turn. The only punish here is going to be Mr. Gangplank. So Gangplank means that we do have to... Gangplank does... We also cannot block with Swain. Maybe he's suspecting the Flock right here. That's why he's not doing anything. We get the Flock this turn. We also have Wallop. So technically we can just Wallop the Gangplank. I don't think I can take any damage here. I mean, sorry. I don't think I can take any damage on Swain. We are going to take damage regardless. What if he's actually Flock now? What if it's actually the Flock now? So that we can level up the Swain right away. But then if the opponent has like a second Sejuani, then that Fury is going to be a problem. So I think we go like this. We take the 4. Because if we don't take, if we block this, we opponent could easily have an Iron Boros. I think we take the 4. He hits the Make It Rain. So we take 5. It's fine. I mean, does that Make It Rain really matter? Swain is gonna be leveled up here. We're down to 5. I guess we're dying to like warning shots and stuff. I mean, 5 is pretty good. A second Sirturmund is annoying, puts us to 3. Okay, so opponent's not gonna have the burn anymore. Swain levels up, by the way, which means that the Overwhelm is gonna clear the whole board. Swain level up means that because we have Wallop, right? We have Wallop. So the funny thing about the Wallop is that we can get rid of the blocker for Swain, right? So the funny thing about Wallop is that we can get rid of the blocker for Swain with the Wallop. And that's exactly what I'm going to do right here. And this fervor might actually let us finish the game, because the opponent's going to go down to 4. And this is going to take them down to 2, and then fervor finishes the game. So yeah, so opponent's going to have to have a freeze. Or have to have stolen like something else. But the card that they stole from us, I guess they could have stolen like a Minimorph or something. The card they stole from us, they already used it, but they played... Yeah, okay, so they did steal 2 cards from us. For some reason, I thought it was only 1. That's unfortunate. I actually think we don't let this Levy take any damage. So I don't think we let this Levy take any damage, because I don't want her to die to a Riptide Sirturmund. So I think we go like this. We use our Wallop, which kind of sucks. Opponent, even if the opponent plays Gangplank here, it's gonna get stunned by the Levy. No matter what, 2 other units get stunned. Oh, that's it? So we're just chilling then, right? Let's go here. 2 other units get stunned. Opponent has a Fisher Whack, doesn't matter. We slowly kill them. They're locked down now. Okay, so they're locked down. Because even if they summon a unit next time, we have Sentry, we also have Fervor. We have too many ways to kind of punch this. We got a second Levy on top of it as well. Opponent knows that we have a second Swain in our hand. So they're literally locked down. And then next time we just attack and win the game. Yeah, that's game. We play second Levy, their whole board gets stunned. We win the game. I'm surprised that the opponent's still in this. It was a little bit scary, but this deck plays enough stuns and obviously enough removals that we are able to deal with their champions, right? Let's go here. Yeah. This is pushing 4 damage. Alright, thank you, opponent. Opponent had to literally steal our stun, and that's still not gonna be enough. Thank you, opponent, for letting us see the big Swain hit. Oh. It's kind of funny, right? The Overwhelm is huge, right? It threatens so much stuff that they, like, because last turn the opponent didn't have to commit the Wallop because they had a Fearsome blocker. But because now it has Overwhelm, they have to. So this deck, I don't know if it's better than Swain TF, because Veigar can be a little bit awkward sometimes. But again, it's just a matter of making the opponent have to commit resources to kill both Veigar and Swain. And Levy. There's a lot of very key units that they have to deal with, and there's only so much removal that people play. So there's the big hit, clears the whole board, we get to attack with both levies, and we win the game. So, GG's. In this matchup, we'll be going up against Kennen Ahri. Ooh, this is scary. I mean, we do have a lot of like pokes, and we have stuff like Calling Strike. And then opponents are gonna have to deal with this Swain. I didn't like the Flock. I didn't like the Flock because it can be countered by the Tailstones. I like the Pokey though and the Calling Strike to kind of threaten. The Calling Strike gets punished by any buffs though, right? Twin, Voodoo style. Absorber, which if they're playing Shurima with Ahri Kennen, I can assume that they're an Absorber. Maybe we don't play anything just yet. I want to have access to both Calling Strike and Pokey Stick and Group Shot now. Okay, yeah. So we don't play anything here. We wait to see what the opponent does first. Right?
Don't let the fluffy tails fool you.
Do I care about this Blade Twirler? Could be problematic. Do I care about this Blade Twirler? Opponent could just pass back right here. Although I don't think it matters to them to pass back. Let's start with the group shot. Because I want the Poké Stick to go through. I guess the Poké Stick is always going through regardless. Let's see if we bait out the first recall. That's not fair. Do we commit like Death Hand plus Poké? Or do we just pass here? I think we just pass here. I think I'm okay letting that one go. Yeah, I think I'm okay letting that one go. Death Lotus could actually be really good. Kind of like the Death Lotus. We don't need the Overwhelm anymore, right? Because Swain has Overwhelm by himself. Death Lotus pushes a lot of damage. Just by itself. Opponent obviously passes here. That's cool. Gets the Kennen. Let's go here. This gives me a blocker for the Wayfinder. We can start with Death Lotus. That pushes 5 damage. Right? So the Death Lotus is going to push 6 damage, getting us pretty far to our Swain level of condition. I guess it's only going to push 4 because the opponent decided not to attack with the Wayfinder. So I'm Phantom blocking here exactly for this. Opponent goes ahead and commits everything. Do we go for the Kennen? Or do we go for the Elusive here? Or do we go for both? That's a nice Nullify. We can only go for one, right? Does the Kennen scare me right now? I don't think it does. I think I'm more scared of the Elusive, to be honest. Because it's going to make this unit even bigger. That sucks, because that was a lot of progress towards our Swain that we just missed out on. That was a lot of progress towards Swain that we just missed out on. We might be in a bad spot. And by we might, I mean like we actually are in a bad spot. Go ahead and just take this damage before the opponent can play this Kennen right back. Okay, wow, okay, so we're just gonna get a Kennen like this? I'll take that. I will take that. I'm gonna play the Swain. I don't really have a lot of other times where I wanna play Swain. We might have to stun this Blade Twirler because this Blade Twirler is gonna get really big. Yep. Opponent's getting a lot of draw from this little guy here. This is 7, 8 damage. Yeah, this Blade Twirler is just way too big. So we might have to play Sentry on it, which is great because now we have the Flocks to be able to actually flock the Blade Twirler away. If the opponent just attacks like this, it can be problematic. Not if it's just pushing 3. If they're just pushing 3, this is fine with me. No Levy is a big deal. If they push all this damage, I think we're in big trouble. We're in big trouble here, right? Because I can't. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Huh. Okay. All right. I will take that. Let's Poison Dart so that we can threaten the Droplet. Opponent has 5 ways to protect that Droplet. We have 2 more ways to kill. I mean, 5 cards to potentially protect that Droplet, and we have 2 ways to potentially kill it. A Twin doesn't save it unless the opponent has a recall with it. Yeah, let's start with the Death Hand. So opponent needs to have 2 more cards. Amplify. You commit the call-in. I want you to spend your whole cards. Okay, so we baited out the Homecoming Elise. Opponent gets another draw out of it. That kind of sucks, right? We also get to push no damage because all our spells got cancelled. So Swain is still in a very vulnerable spot. We have a blocker for the Blade Twirlers now, so I'm not too concerned about this. Still has 4 cards though. Still has a lot of cards. Still has way too many cards to defend himself. And we don't have the levy. We might have to just stun the elusives instead of trying to stun the Blade Twirler. Because the opponent doesn't have access to Absolver, right? Because they haven't leveled up their champion. So I think we go like this. I'm gonna take this block. I know we're taking a lot of damage here, but I think it's fine. Okay, opponent does nothing with that attack. So let's go aloof. That gets rid of their homecoming. That's homecoming number 2. Opponent just has a bunch of like low cost cards. Let's go ahead and do second aloof. That gets rid of the third cannon. So this is the last cannon they have left. That's the last cannon they have left. And they showed us that that card is literally, I mean, the cannon is the lowest cost card, which cannon spell is 3 mana. So they have no access to homecoming anymore unless they also have access to so why do we go here first? That way opponent doesn't have access to a fearsome blocker. So opponent doesn't have access to a fearsome blocker anymore. Not having Levy here sucks. No Veigar either. Swain is really far behind. Swain is really far behind from the level up. Let's just push this damage now. Opponent could have Twin. And again, we're just so vulnerable to the freaking elusives. This is lethal with the elusives alone. This is literally lethal with the elusives. We have to go after these elusives. So we have to go after these elusives. And in order to do that, we're going to have to go... We're going to have to stun and then double flock, right? And that's still potentially not enough because we lose to a twin. So we have to stun this one. And then we have to flock it. Opponent has 4 cards, which are all low-cost cards, so it's very likely to have just a regular recall. I only lose if the opponent has 2 recalls, right? The homecoming saves him as well. This is an unfortunate hand. I feel like, yeah, okay, yeah. So they're gonna homecoming. Oh, that's unfortunate then, right? So we're gonna have to go here then. We're gonna have to go here and just try to eat up a different one. So now we're losing to the elusives by themselves. So unless we talk like another... Wow, they had everything. They just open attack and we lose to 5. We tried to kill those elusives. Too late. Too late, Levy. Too late. There's no way opponent gets greedy here, right? They've been open attacking like all game long. Ah. That's so unfortunate. Veigar would have been amazing as well. We literally just got chunked down by the small elusives. I think...
This is not the end.
What could I have done better there? I mean, I went after the elusives. Honestly, when the opponent nullified that that 2-cost spell, I think that's when he ended up being really punishing for us. Because it meant that they kept both their cannon and their elusive alive, and then we had to commit like an additional spell on it, right? So GG's. In this matchup, we'll be going up against Katarina, Gwen, Elise. While we have a lot of removal, we might not have enough to stop their pressure. And that's what concerns me in this matchup right now. Because the darkness is really expensive at 3 mana. Let's see if we can get like Poke Sticks or other low-cost units. Like Oncologist is not bad. Oh, Catalyzer is probably the best draw here, right? Yeah, Catalyzer is probably the best draw here. Opponent could easily have a blocker for this. But if they don't, I'm pushing a ton of damage. Imagine if we had group shot here.
You're looking at Ionia's cookie cup 10 times.
Imagine if we had group shot here, right? I think I still take it. I think I still take it. We have Flock to deal with stuff later on. Opponent got the Scout, which is going to be annoying with Gwen, but we have ways to deal with Gwen. Okay. I like the pass. I like the pass. Oh, we could kill that Gwen, by the way, before the opponent put the Scout on it. But I kind of don't hate it if they put the Scout on it. It just means I'm going to flock it next time. Okay, opponent's going to obviously flock our stuff. I guess let's go ahead and call and strike this then. If you don't want to take your free Scout Gwen, then I'm going to call it Striker instead. Opponent's going to go ahead and flock this guy. There it is. It said that now we have a Darkness that's still pushing 3, so we can kill almost anything that the opponent summons. We can kill almost anything that the opponent summons because of the flock to back it up. Alright. I'm kind of scared of the haste spike if I play the Catalyzer here.
Sometimes we're the bait.
So what if we Conchologist instead? That still gives me a blocker for the Hookmaster. We could play the Bouncing Bomb. It's a nice removal spell. The Guile could be interesting as well. But I like the Bouncing Bomb because we all have, obviously we have blocks. Aha! So now we can actually just play the Catalyzer, right? And have no problem. We still have blockers for 2 other units. Opponent even gives us this unit for some reason. Do I make them replay the equipment? Does it matter? I don't think it matters, right? Darkness is a 4, so we can still kill almost anything that the opponent has. Yeah, we can just Death Hand this, or do we Bouncing Bomb? I guess let's Bouncing Bomb. Let's Bouncing Bomb. Opponent doesn't know that we have the Death Hand, right? I'm okay giving them this draw, because I might just play this Veigar here. I guess let's wait and see what the opponent does. Because they could have access. Okay. Perfect. So I get to get rid of the Darkness and get to play Veigar next. I mean, opponent knew I had the Darkness in my hand. So they did this knowing that.
It's just a
They did this knowing I had Darkness in my hand. So they must have something else. I need to be worried about the Harrowing when the opponent starts having 10 mana. I don't want to play units. Yeah, like, see, like, opponent literally had to play that without really getting a ton of value. Do I let him get the 5 attack in? 5 attack is kind of a lot. 5 attack is kind of a lot, huh? Let's go Colleges. Place Edge, pretty good, right? Place Edge is pretty good. Lets me kill this. Opponent should have actually done the Pan of Pain. But they didn't, so we're chilling. We're not gonna kill this now, because I don't want them to get that value just yet. So we're just gonna chill right here. I guess they could put the Pan of Pain on it, so that could be a reason to kill it. But I mean, if that's the case, we then have the Death Hand. I'm gonna go ahead and aloof right now to play around the Harrowing.
I dropped everything.
Okay, Fallen Reckoner. So we know that the opponent has no Harrowing in their hand.
A single empire ruled by the
We have the Death Hand, so we don't care about this Fallen Reckoner. Go ahead. You want to do your Pot of Pain on it. You definitely want to do your Pot of Pain. Oh, he's gonna go here instead. Really?
every fire falls.
Ah. So then we can go second aloof, maybe? But then we tapping out of answers. I guess we still have Blaze Edge plus Ravenous Flock for like Let's go second aloof. I like having the blocker.
Put our stuff
Sentry. Still no harrowing. Opponent has cards that are 3 costs or potentially less. Everything that they have is damage, right? Opponent's gonna glimpse, which sounds like a good time to do this Blaze Edge. I kind of want them to run out of value. Don't want them to glimpse into a harrowing. Haze Spike, so it needs to have the Flock on top of the Haze Spike. They're down to just a single card. Doesn't have the Flock. We have Flock ourselves, and then Swain, not leveled up just yet. There's the Gwen. Gwen loses to the darkness. That levels up our Swain after we do the Flock. This should be good, right? This should be game. Opponent's down to just a single card that we don't know about. How do they beat that? Because we can just play Swain now and then we win the game. There we go. We didn't hit the opponent's face once. Opponent lived with 20 HP and we still won. GG's. Hey, welcome back everybody. Hope you enjoyed those games. You can see what I'm talking about. They just have so many threats and so many ways to win, either through Veigar or Swain. We didn't really get to see like a level of Veigar win, but Veigar by himself just ate up so much removal in these games that you saw today. And the darkness itself can put in a lot of work, as you saw it, by the way that we were able to just deal with anything that the opponent could summon in the board. Once you get your, removal spent on Veigar, that's when you can drop down that Swain, drop down the Leviathan, and kind of just push damage that way. Unfortunately, as you saw against that Ahri Kennen deck, it can be a little bit awkward sometimes dealing with elusives if the opponent has a lot of ways to protect them, like they have with that deck. So just be careful. Be careful with that. And obviously, Homecoming is still very annoying. Even with the Levy costing 1 less, it's still very problematic to have to deal with that Homecoming. In terms of mulligan, I actually kind of realized that I don't like keeping Swain that early anymore, because Swain doesn't level that quickly in this deck compared to like Twisted Fate. So I think I'd rather just get Swain later on, right? Together with the Leviathan or something like that. And instead focus on my early game. So we're going more for like a darkness mulligan, where we're hard mulliganing for Veigar and hard mulliganing for Catalyzer. These 2 units will enable our darkness to actually be a threat that the opponent has to deal with. And then additionally, depending on the matchup, you can keep someone like the Pokey Stick, for example, the Death Hand, if you need to remove a target right away. Just keep in mind that I think it's better off to just try to hard mulligan for Veigar first, and then try to focus on the Swain win condition later on into the game. So yeah, that's what I would suggest for mulligan. If you like this video and this deck idea, please make sure to like it below and subscribe to us. We post LR videos every single day. I hope that you all enjoyed the new patch, and we'll continue bringing you new games and new decks in this new patch. We also stream on Twitch at Sirturmund, where we stream 2 to 3 times a week. And if you're watching this on Thursday, which is when I have this video scheduled to release, then we should be streaming right now. So Thursday around 6 p.m. Eastern Time. You can also find us on Discord and Twitter. The links to those are both in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again tomorrow.